Hi everyone, welcome back to Tiny Talks. Today's episode is a difficult one, but we feel it's important to talk about. We're discussing the Pahalgam attack that happened in April 2025.
Hi friends, this is Sara. Yes, it's a heartbreaking topic. On April 22nd, 5 armed militants attacked a group of tourists in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir, killing 26 innocent people.
Most of the victims were Hindu tourists, but among them, there was also a Christian tourist and a brave local Muslim pony operator, who sadly lost his life while trying to protect others. The attack took place in Bisaran Valley, a beautiful meadow, surrounded by dense pine forests.
It's shocking, because this area, although popular with tourists, was not heavily protected. The attackers used military-style rifles, M4 carbines and Alaska 47s, and wore uniforms to blend in.
Yes, and what's especially painful to hear is that this attack was targeted. Survivors reported that the militants asked people their names and religions. They even asked some tourists to recite Islamic verses to identify who was Hindu or non-Muslim.
It's horrifying. One of the first victims was Shubham Dwivedi, a newlywed from Kanpur. He and his wife were asked, "Are you Hindu or Muslim?" And when they answered, "We are Hindus," Shubham was shot at close range.
I read about Lieutenant Vinay Narwal too, an Indian Navy officer, who was there with his wife just 6 days after their wedding. He was shot multiple times after being identified as Hindu. It's truly heartbreaking.
And it wasn't just him. A tourist from Pune was killed after failing to recite an Islamic verse. Another man, from Andhra Pradesh, was shot after the militants asked, "Hindu hi, Muslim hi?" The militants were methodical in targeting based on religion.
And it wasn't just him. A tourist from Pune was killed after failing to recite an Islamic verse. Another man, from Andhra Pradesh, was shot after the militants asked, "Hindu hi, Muslim hi?" The militants were methodical in targeting based on religion.
One thing that stood out to me was the courage of Syed Adil Hussain Shah, the local Muslim pony operator. He tried to wrestle a gun away from an attacker, hoping to protect the tourists. He was shot and killed, but his bravery will always be remembered.
Absolutely. This incident is being called the deadliest civilian attack in India since the 2008 Mumbai attacks. It sparked huge anger and sadness across India, and also led to serious tensions between India and Pakistan.
Right, India accused Pakistan of supporting the terrorists, and in response, they suspended key agreements, expelled diplomats, and even closed borders and airspace. Pakistan denied involvement and took its own countermeasures.
It also triggered skirmishes along the border, starting just 2 days after the attack. India banned Pakistani imports, blocked mail and air routes, and cut off all connections between the two countries.
Internationally, many countries condemned the attack. The US, the UK, France, Germany, all spoke out strongly, calling it a senseless act of terror. The United Nations also called for unity against terrorism.
Back home, people from all communities came together to mourn. There were candlelight vigils, silent marches, and messages of solidarity from every part of India.
But sadly, there was also a rise in tension and some anti-Kashmiri sentiment, which we should be careful about. It's important to remember that terrorists do not represent an entire religion or community.
That's such an important point, Sara. We must not let hate win. As painful as this event was, we have to keep the bigger picture in mind: unity, peace, and justice.
Yes. And before we end today's episode, we want to leave you all with a message. Terrorism tries to divide us by religion, race, and nationality. But we must stand stronger, refusing to let fear and hate control our hearts.
So wherever you are listening from, we encourage you to be a voice for peace. Speak kindly, stand up for fairness, and remember those who lost their lives, with respect and love. Let's turn sadness into strength, and fear into action, for a better world.
Thank you for joining us today. Please share your thoughts, light a candle, or simply say a prayer for the victims and their families. We'll see you next time.
Take care everyone, stay safe, and may peace be with you all.